Remember this video I posted about the music production class. So yes, we are beginning in 2 days. Sorry for the delays and all of that. We need to put one or two things together. Plus the holiday that came in and everything. Yep. So we are starting today. Sorry about my phone. Okay, let me put it on silent now. So we are beginning from the first thing, like from the scratch. I said we're going to be starting from the scratch, and that's what we are doing. So the first thing first is, what is music production? Yeah, what is music production? So if you hear the word music production, what comes to your mind and all of those stuff? So I wrote here, music production is the complete process of creating a song or piece of music from the initial idea to the final finished version that listeners can hear and enjoy. So it combines it's a combination of your creative ideas and technical skills coming together to make something very, very sweet that people can as well hear and enjoy. So when we talk about music production, what does it take? Like, how do we go about, music production and everything? So the first thing I usually recommend to anybody is, first of all, you need to get a musical background, understand music, know what music means as music itself, the entirety of music. You need to understand music, know the definition of music, know melodies, rhythms, and all of those stuff. Because when we come to music production, we tend to bring all of these things together, and that's how we are able to produce something that is good and be bringing down to music production. Yeah. So developing musical ideas such as melody, rhythm, harmonies, and lyrics. When we talk, I just spoke about it. Choosing the style or genre of song, it may be Afro, maybe hip hop, maybe dance pop, maybe country, gospel, EMDs, and all of those stuff together. They'll be coming to arranging different musical sections, intro, verse, chorus, outros, and all of those stuff, bridge, you know, and editing mistakes and improvising the performances, then mixing the sounds together. Then we go to mastering, which is the final stage of the whole music production. Yeah. So in simple terms, music production is turning an idea into a finished song. People can just listen to and be like, yeah. In the olden days, we don't really have this luxury of what we can do now. The computer, DAWs and everything. For you to be able to hear music and enjoy music, you have to pay and go to a theater or a music gathering where you see the composer, you see a lot of musicians on stage, you see the string guys, the violins, the trumpets, saxophones, and everybody. And the composer is just in front doing like this, and everybody is trying to learn the whole thing together. So now it's actually pretty easy to make music and create music from the comfort of your home, because now we can now make music from our computer. All you need is a computer, a sound card, a microphone like my own. Not necessarily you need something like this. You can use this, or better still, get something like this. It's not expensive. You need a piano or an acoustic guitar or whatever genre of music or style of music you want to get into. And the most important thing, a laptop or a desktop like the one in front of me here, and you can be able to make music from the comfort of your home. You don't need to go to any gathering, pay money to sit down there and listen to whatever is going on there. You can make music from the comfort of your home, and it's pretty easy. Yeah, very, very pretty easy. So music can be done in a professional recording studio, in a home studio like me and you right now, in a home studio, or on your bedroom with your laptop. I like that one. Yeah, so it can be made from your bedroom and every other thing. So what we need to understand is the difference between producers. So I want us to talk more today. So by the time we're getting into the main details or main stuff of music production, so today's video is not actually going to be long, because I want us to understand these stuffs. So we have different kinds or different producers. We have the beat making producers, We have uh, the engineers, mixing engineers. We have the mastering engineers. You get, but I want us to focus on the beat making part of music. Yeah, the beat making part of music. But you first of all have to decide which phase you want to belong. We're going to get to all of the phases, but you need to first of all decide which phase you want to become. So the beat maker focuses only on creating the instrumental foundation of the song. You understand? That is where his focus is. He wants to create the instrumental foundation of the song. Yet his responsibilities are programming drum patterns, kick, snare, hi hats, creating melodies and chord progression, designing bad lines and rhythms, choosing sounds and virtual instruments. That's the work of the beatmaker. The beatmaker often work mostly inside a DAW and may sell or send beats to artists. So this is what he does. He comes into the studio like I am in the studio today, and I just decided that I want to make a lo-fi kind of trap beat, and I start putting these elements together, these instrumentals together, and I start making stuffs together, and boom, I have a beat, and I can decide to sell it or send it to an artist who is talented and want to sing, and like that, like that, we have a song. So that's the responsibility of a beat maker. So what we need to become a beat maker is first and foremost our laptops. Like I mentioned before, we need our laptops. The second thing we need our sound card. We need a sound card. It can be the Euphoria UMC 22 or the Euphoria UMC 202 HD. I have both of them here. Or you can go for the Scarlett, Focusrite Scarlett 202. You can also go for anything pretty simple and easy that is out there. Yeah. So you don't necessarily need to be going out for something very, very big. You can start pretty small. You need a microphone. You can get something like this. This is a AKG D660S. I took this from my church actually to make this video. So, we are starting from the scratch. So we don't need anything too much or too extra. We just need something that is going to work. Now, after you've gotten your laptop, your sound card, you have your microphone, you have a MIDI keyboard or a piano that can connect to the computer, whatever piano you have that can connect to the computer that can enable you to make beat, you're good. The next thing you need is a DAW. So what is a DAW? A DAW is a digital audio workstation. It looks like this. Let me show you mine. Okay, here we go. It looks like this. So mine, I'm using Logic here. We have FL, we have Studio One, we have Reason, we have Ableton, we have N-Tracks Live. We have a lot of them out there. So you can choose which DAW you really want to work with or you want to use, and you start using that to create your song or music or whatever you want to do. So the next thing we need, after getting our DAWs, we need to learn the navigation of our DAWs, the navigational systems of our DAW. Now, let's assume we are in a plane and we were taken to the cockpit and we see a lot of buttons, a lot of things to do. We don't actually know what we want to do. We're just seeing all of this stuff together at once and we want to learn how everything works. So we need to learn the navigational system of our DAW. So like I said, now I'm using Logic for this. Yours can be whichever DAW, but the same principles apply to every other DAW out there. So the first thing you need to learn or know about your DAW is what button works for what. Now I'm going to give you a quick tip on how I got to understand this. Press everything on your computer. Press all the buttons. That's how I started. You can just press Q, look for what Q does, W, E, R, E. Okay, E is bringing up the the piano roll. Okay, this is what E does. Keep pressing. Okay, T brings up the select menu for if you want to use the scissors two selection menu. Y, okay, Y brings up the instrument section. U does nothing. I, okay, I brought up the inspection section, the region inspection section. Okay, check for O. What does O do? P, what does P? Okay, P also brings out the piano roll. A, okay, A turns on automation. You just get to find S's for solo. Just do all of these things until you get where you want to get to by knowing which button works for which stuff. Over time you start creating your own shortcuts and everything, but starting up you need to know which button works for what. Now know what the function of everything you see in front of you is. No, this is to record, okay? This is to stop, okay? This is to forward, backward. This is, okay, piano roll, mixer. What's this? Okay. This to edit or check whatever instrument you are on. Okay. You see? This is the pre-count. This is the metronome. This is to change the tempo of your session. Just know what everything does and what everything is, and that way you are good to go. Yeah. So like I said, mine is logic, but the same principle applies everywhere. So after you know all of that, after you've gotten all of this stuff and you know that, okay, this works for this and that works for that and that works for that, the next thing you need to know is how to bring in an instrument to your workstation, to your worksheet. Like this is empty, there's no instrument on it. So I need to know how to, let me turn on my piano. I need to know how to bring instruments here. So where do I get instruments? No, I don't want to use. Where do I get instruments from? How do I get it? So that's why I said you need to press everything and know what works for what. Remember when we opened Y, I said instrument selection, place or window. So you can select whatever instruments you want to do. I did not download all the Logic instruments because I don't really have the space on my system for it. So this is a piano. So if I press my piano here now, all right, so this is my piano. So that's the piano right there. So you can choose to work on something, do whatever you want to do. Yeah. So that's that for this. I don't want to boss with too much information, so we can be able to get this thing step by step. So see you in the next episode. My name is Udali.